91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. We just heard Them featuring Van Morrison. It's all over now, Baby Blue. And that was a track from Tony Falco's playlist, which is how we start the show off each and every week here on Local Motion. And speaking of the Falco family, let's get Lee on the line. Lee, are you with me?
I am. Hey.
Hey. So great to have you here today. Thanks for your time. I'm going to do a brief introduction and tell the listeners that musician, composer, producer, and operator of the Falcon and the Building Recording Studio, Lee Falco, has toured with such artists as Donald Fagen, the Lemonheads, Rachel Yamagata, and many more. He operates the Hudson Valley's beloved music venue, the Falcon, and also runs the recording studio called The Building, both in Marlborough, New York. And with that, a warm welcome back to Local Motion, Lee Falco.
Thanks for having me, Rita.
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And as I mentioned, I start off every show by paying tribute to your dad. He left such a cool playlist, and I'm still learning music from him. And it's on Spotify. I always encourage listeners to listen to it and just for a few minutes be able to reflect on everything he did for live music. And so you are a phenomenal musician, and you started because of your dad. And just tell me about like growing up and your little drumming and when you started and your group when you were a teenager. Start talking about your youth and how you got into the music scene.
Well, yeah, I was always surrounded by music. My dad always had a passion for the arts and promoting music and playing music. And I got really into the Beatles when I was just a little kid. And started taking drum lessons from Joe Carosa in Hilton, New York when I was 5 years old. And soon after that, my dad put together this band that we called the Chills that had myself and a few other kids from Marlborough in it. And we started playing at shows my dad put together and local events and bazaars and parties and things like that. Played a lot of classic rock covers, and I was playing drums and singing. And it was really fun. It was a great group of friends, and we did it for a really long time, from the time I was like 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7, till, not 5, but maybe 6 or 7, till I was about 15.
Wow.
14 or 15.
So fun. So fun. And your parents are all driving you around at this point, right? Because
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So cute. So cute.
Travel basketball team, but we're musicians.
Yeah, exactly. You know, some kids have sport parents and others, the music, which is so cool. So it was always drums for you? That's how you started, and you didn't pick up anything else? I mean, I know you do now, but when you were young.
Yeah, pretty much. I was always playing drums. That's always been my main instrument.
Right. And what were you listening to? I don't know, teenage years. When did you start getting into jazz? Because I know that's a big part of what you studied and all of that.
Yeah, I was always into jazz, mainly because it was always around me when I was a kid. My dad had the backyard shows, and a lot of great jazz musicians were playing there. But I was always more into classic rock when I was younger, and then when I was a teenager, my good friend Elliot Cash was always a big influence on my musical taste as a teenager. He would burn me CDs with cool indie rock on it, which I got really into as a teenager. Bands like Bright Eyes and Spoon and Dr. Dog and Andrew Bird.
Wow.
Artists like that.
Yeah.
I got more into more contemporary music, indie rock, as we were calling it at the time.
Yeah.
In middle school. And then, when I wanted to study music in college, and you can kind of, when it comes to performing on an instrument, at least around here, it was all jazz programs. So I applied to a few schools, and I wound up going to SUNY Purchase in the jazz program, which was very bebop focused. And I had always loved jazz, and just being around that scene at the time turned me on to a lot of great jazz music. And Yeah. And then was it in college or after college you had the opportunity of one's young lifetime
to go tour with Donald Fagen?
It was after college.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and I was 22. And my good friends Connor Kennedy and Brandon Morrison and Will Bryant and I had been playing a lot around Woodstock together, and had been sort of the house band at a few things like the Bearsville Theater Bob Dylan show, and at Levon Helm Studios. And we had played with Donald a few times, and he asked us to be his band on the tour, which was an incredible experience.
Yeah, the Night Flyers is what you were all called, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that show at the Capitol, and you personally, I don't know I've ever seen you drum like that before. It still stays with me to this day. It was quite the performance. I mean, you were all amazing musicians on stage, don't get me wrong, but you just, I don't know if it was your parents being there that night or whatever came over you. You were just on fire. And I remember people like that didn't know who you were in behind me saying, "Who the hell is that drummer? Oh my God, who's that guy?" You know, and yeah, it was just really beautiful to witness that and see that. So, and that little show that you
Yeah,
did before you guys went on tour at the Falcon, your dad was like so happy about that.
it's such an amazing opportunity to play with Donald.
Yeah.
Tried to rise to it as best I could.
Yeah, well, you did. You definitely did. I'll never forget your parents' face, and they were just like both so like beaming and proud. And I remember your dad talking to somebody one time. He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Lee's only 22. I can't believe it." You know, he was just like in awe of the opportunity that you had at such a young age. And so it's been beautiful just to watch you blossom from there. And you were just on the road too, right, with Lemonheads?
We did a few shows. We were up in Canada, in Halifax and Toronto, just a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great to play with Evan again. It's always really fun.
Right. So the Falcon, which is part of one of the hats that you wear, you're operating that, and it's continuing, and you're getting some amazing music that comes in there, and the building was where the original Falcon was. Talk about, if you would, I mean, the Falcon where it is right now is right on 9W in Marlborough. But before that opened there in 2009, it was in your backyard. So talk about that a little bit, if you would.
Sure. So the original Falcon is a building on the property that I grew up, my parents' property. And in the early 2000s, my dad bought a church in the town of Marlborough. I think he maybe bought the church in the 90s. And his plan was to make a performing arts center in that space. And he had rented some of the space and was that was his goal. And he got in over his head, so he sold the church property to the local post office. And they didn't want the building, so he dismantled the building for the post office and took all the materials and brought them to our backyard.
Love it.
And I was just a little kid. And he built this sort of church-like building. It's a small, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to give it reference for size. I don't know the square footage exactly, but it's like a church barn type of space. And that went up in, I think, the year 2000. And he started doing house concerts there and quickly kind of tapped into a cool New York City upstate jazz scene. Guys like Marvin Boogaloo Smith were some of the first people to play there, and Joe Carosa, my old drum teacher, and Harvey Kaiser, and all these different people in the area. And he would do it once a week normally, sometimes every other week. And there were these kind of backyard parties. Everyone would bring food to share and put money in the donation box that went to the band. And oftentimes the musicians would have a family dinner in my house. My mom or dad would cook dinner, and it would just be this beautiful scene. As a kid, we'd all hang out around the dinner table with legendary musicians, and then they'd go out and play for the neighbors and family and friends. And it was a great time. The kids would hang out in the downstairs. There was a little game room down there. We'd play outside, and we'd come in and watch the show. And those are really great memories. It was such a cool thing, and it was all just for community and for music and art. And there would always be different artists displaying on the walls. We would mix it up every couple months. in the backyard space. And it became pretty popular, and he was getting great musicians and great connections, networking with all these musicians, and he decided to buy a building in the town and expand and make it a public business, which he bought the building in 2005 and then opened the new Falcon in 2009. And as best he could, tried to keep the essence of the house concert series and the community space and the intimate environment in the new place. Although it's a restaurant and a bar, the donation box still remains, where people don't have to pay a cover. Instead, whatever they can afford to put in the box goes to the musicians. And first and foremost, we always try and take good care of the musicians and feed them, and just provide a cool scene for people in the community, music lovers and musicians, and so on.
I think for me, the first time I walked into the Falcon, it had just opened in its location now. And it was foreign to me that I didn't have to buy a ticket to go somewhere. And I was like, what? How? And I met your dad, and he told me about, where he started and everything. He's like, no. He's like, I believe anybody should come see music. And, and I always loved, if you can afford 50 or 100, put it in there. If times are tough, do what you can. And you still carry that on. And that is such a democratic way of seeing music and not excluding anyone. And I think that was my love at first sight with the Falcon, is that it is open to everybody. And the performers that come there are world class, travel the world. Anybody can go to the website and take a look at liveatthefalcon.com and see the throng of people that you have coming there, and they keep returning because everybody wants to play there. So what your dad has started, you are continuing, and it's a beautiful thing. And you are also, I must say, are bringing in some new people. And changing it up a little bit. And I think that's really cool too. And you're adding a different notch of different group of people. Tell me, tomorrow night, talk about Basico Kuwati.
Oh, that was actually last week.
That was last week. Okay. That was last week.
Yeah,
oh my God. Yeah. So where are we? Today we're at... Yes.
But Basico was super cool. He's a musician from Mali, in West Africa, and he plays this traditional instrument called ngoni. And the band was amazing, and it was all his family. It was his wife singing, and his brother on percussion, and his nephew on percussion, and his son on bass. And it was super cool. And it's always so exciting to get world musicians coming through.
Yes.
So that was really cool. This Thursday we have Richard Lloyd,
yes,
who was the original guitar player in the band Television.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings his band. It's called Richard Lloyd's Television. They play a lot of the songs off Marquee Moon and his solo career. And yeah, it's a cool show.
It is. It's a really cool show. And Friday, the one and only Alexis P. Suter back at the Falcon.
Yeah, Alexis's Falcon family. She's been playing at the Falcon for a long time.
Yep.
And it's cool, sort of a full circle moment. Lee Collins, Amy Helm, and Jay Collins' son, is opening the show with his duo called Roshan Collins.
Oh.
And it's a full circle moment because Alexis opened for hundreds of Levon Helm rambles up in Woodstock.
Yep.
And it's so cool now that Levon's grandson, Lee Collins, who's an incredible drummer and singer, and he's 14 years old, and he's just amazing. I'm really excited to see him on Friday. But he'll be opening for Alexis, so
it's
cool.
It's a really cool thing. And that was you back then, Lee. That was you 15 years ago or whatever. That was you. So now you're watching the youth come up as well. Weren't you teaching Lee Collins as well?
We've done a few lessons together, yeah.
Yeah. And talk about Saturday, because we're going to play some of the music that you sent me. I know your opener is Jules Olson. And talk about Margaret Glaspie, if you would.
Yeah, Margaret is an amazing singer-songwriter and artist, and I'm really honored to be playing with her. She reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested, and I've been learning all her music, and it's been just a joy. Her records are incredible, and her new record is really amazing, and it's coming out in the fall. And we're playing on Saturday at the Falcon. And Bridget Kearney, who's from Lake Street Dive, bass
Yeah.
player at Lake Street Dive, is on bass.
Oh,
With
wow.
myself, Margaret, and Bridget. We're playing the Falcon on Saturday, and then we're going down to the city to play at Rockwood Music Hall on Sunday night. And then we have a gig in Philly on Wednesday.
Beautiful.
And so I'm really, really excited to be playing with Margaret.
Yeah, that sounds really, really cool. And you've been doing these great Sunday night jazz series. I know for a while you worked with Danny, but you're continuing this great, what's known to be jazz night at the Falcon on Sunday. Talk a little bit about this week's guest, Edmar.
Yeah, Edmar also is another artist who goes way back with the Falcon. He used to play in the backyard. He's a harp player, a jazz harp player, which isn't something you see every day.
I was going to say that, yep.
And his band that's coming this Sunday is pretty amazing. It's a 7-piece band. It's called the Edmar Castaneda World Ensemble. And if you go on the website and look, there's a vocalist, a harmonica player, drummer, percussionist. It's really a large band, and I'm really excited to hear them. Well, actually, I won't hear them because I'm playing in the city with Margaret that night. But if you're around, it's going to be a really world-class night of music.
Yeah.
Sunday with Edmar.
Yeah, absolutely. And just such a great lineup, too. I mean, May 5th, Ed Palermo. It's crazy. It's already sold out. But that big band, you have to, reserve that weeks in advance to go when he comes up there. How many people are on that stage when he comes?
It's usually somewhere between 16 and 18 people. and we're doing a series with the Analog Jazz Orchestra, which is another big band.
Yeah.
And they're playing the first Thursday of every other month. And the first Thursday in May 4th, they're doing a Star Wars big band night.
Love it.
They're going to be playing all John Williams arrangements.
Yeah. May the 4th be with you on the 4th of May. Beautiful.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. And Jimmy Vivino, gotta love him. He's there May 5th.
That's right, yeah.
Jimmy
Vivino.
Yep, good old Jimmy Vivino. But you just have a great group of people. And to listeners, if you've never been to the Falcon, you don't need to buy tickets. It's by donation. So you can put it on your credit card when you're paying for dinner, or you can just put some cash in the blue box. If I remember correctly, that's the original one from the old Falcon, right?
That's right. It's in the same box for almost 15 years now.
I love that.
It's a school project. My sister had to make some sort of little house or something. I don't know what it was, but it's always been that same box.
Oh, that's awesome. So check out the lineup at the Falcon. It's always incredible. And I always encourage listeners, and I've been starting to do this a lot more myself over the last few years, going to see music you've never heard of before. Because it really does expand anything that's at the Falcon is almost always guaranteed to be great. But if you haven't heard of the name, maybe check it out and expand your musical horizons, because you can discover some great music that way, and especially seeing it live. So that's always a little something I try to encourage people to do. Now, Lee, I want to talk to you also because you're involved with so many different projects. But you also do some composing and some producing. Talk to me about your work at the building, which is your recording studio in Marlborough.
Sure.
When did you get into that? Like, why record? What made you think of it and want to do it besides being a musician?
Yeah, well, I was going to purchase for jazz music and studying. And like I was saying, it was very bebop focused, and I've always loved jazz, but I've really always loved more, gravitated more towards, classic rock and, indie rock and, more song-based, vocal-based. I've always been a singer. So I was thinking about changing my major to recording production at Purchase, but I was also getting the opportunity to tour a good bit at that time with Connor Kennedy and some other groups, and it was kind of conflicting with my college schedule. So I decided to leave, and instead of changing my major, I just, that space, the old house concert space, was pretty much vacant, because my dad had moved the Falcon to the club. So I decided to move into that space and just start recording. I remember it really dawned on me to get into recording. I was on a family vacation. I was listening to Revolver in the van, and it was just hitting me so hard. I was so moved by it, just listening to all the production. And I was, I think I was 18, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I need to record. I need to learn how to do that. So I moved into the space, and Brandon Morrison, who's always been my good friend, he's also a talented engineer and a little older than me, and he had some equipment, and he kind of helped me get set up, and I bought a few things and just a little converter M box, and I got a computer, and just started trying to learn. I got Pro Tools, and since then it's just kind of slowly grown, and a bunch of people, since I have the space, have been gracious enough to leave some equipment there, and it's become kind of a community space of musician friends of mine like Will and Brandon, and also Loft Leaders have some equipment there. Connor Kennedy, and all these different people kind of all use the space. And it's it's a beautiful room. There's some nice equipment there, and we all play. I surround myself with some great musicians, so we've made a lot of great music in there.
And continue to do so. Yeah. I know Alexis P. Suter, who's going to be at the Falcon this Friday. She's I think she finished recording. I know Byron is producing that at the building, right?
I think they're still in the process. They're maybe about halfway through. But she's been working with Byron, and they've been co-writing, and I'm excited to see what they're doing and hear what they're doing. I know the first batch of stuff sounds really great.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. I had Byron on last month, and he was telling me he was working with her and really excited about this new album. So look forward to hearing it. I think they're going to do a track with David Barron also. So it should be a pretty interesting album coming out from the one and only Alexis P. Suter. So talk to me about writing, because you're also a composer. And when did that start for you? Also teenage years?
Not as much. I've always wanted to write more and always strive to be a songwriter. And as I learned more piano and guitar, some songs would just kind of come to me. And and then around 2017, Brandon and Will and I started this project at Restless Age, and that definitely pushed me to write more and write with them and separately. And I never really considered myself a songwriter, but it's been a while since I've written, but when you're around a lot of music and in studios and stuff, there's just so much creativity going around that it's easy to kind of get in the mix and throw in an opinion here or a lyric there. And it's hard not to get involved in songwriting.
Right. Yeah.
As a musician.
Absolutely. I remember, the pandemic, the Restless Age was the last band I saw at the Falcon. Like, I think it was March 13th or something, 2020, literally 2 days before everything shut down. And, and then the world shut down. And that was a tough time. The beautiful thing about the Falcon, of course, is that for some reason, your dad really thought it just kind of happened, this beautiful deck outside. And during the height of the pandemic, before the vaccines or anything, and you couldn't really have indoor people yet, you guys had some beautiful music outside on the deck of the Falcon. There were some amazing people there.
Yeah, the decks my dad built outside are just beautiful, and it was really, I know a lot of people considered it to be kind of like a lifesaver to be able to get out and safely hear music and be around people at least at a distance.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, it was a little hard on the wait staff. They definitely got their exercises that day, but they also didn't seem to mind. And it was just a matter of gathering people, and it was just a really cool, safe way to do it. And I remember seeing some absolutely amazing shows there during that time. And so it was good to have that there in whatever form you could go see music. And there weren't many places like that had the outside music. So it was good that the Falcon definitely did that. So the
We're
restless.
lucky to have a great staff at the Falcon.
Yes.
Shout out to the Falcon staff.
Yes, absolutely. Because you can't do it without the staff, that's for sure. So, hey to everybody. I know Graham tunes in once in a while. So, yeah, hopefully he'll listen to this as well. But yeah, always a good staff there. So, what was I going to say? So, the Restless Age, you guys kind of like that group, your threesome there along with Connor. A lot of people called you like the wrecking crew of the Hudson Valley, and I think you're still kind of known as that. But tonight you guys have been doing this honky tonk thing at the VFW every Wednesday night, and tonight's the last one, if I'm correct with that. Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. Connor had the idea. It's something I think he saw that they do down in Nashville at an American Legion Hall, and it's the VFW in Kingston is such a cool place to do it. It kind of feels like a real honky tonk.
Yeah.
Have you been to one yet, Rita?
I have not been to one because I do my show and it's hard for me to get over there after I do my
Right.
show. So, but man, I've seen videos and it just looks so much fun. And you've got the great Cindy Cash Dollar with you the last 3 weeks too. So, or 2 weeks, whatever it was. And everybody seems to be having a lot of fun at those.
Yeah, it's become a really cool scene and a nice demographic of younger and older people, a nice mix, and locals and sort of newer people in the community. And a lot of people have been dancing.
Yeah.
Doing dance lessons beforehand.
I
A guy
love
named
that.
Barry does a swing dance lesson. And we're playing all straight up country music, a lot of George Jones and Hank Williams and Willie Nelson. And it's been fun. It's a cool style of music to play
Right.
and to learn and to sing. You know, I've been singing a good amount, and Connor's just been killing some of the George Jones vocal stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and Cindy Cash Dollar is, you know, a legend, and it's been really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
We might even keep it going. We'll see.
I hope you do. I think you know of a place where you could sign that up every once in a while if you wanted to. Yeah, that would be really, really cool. It sounds great. Just Wednesdays are tough for me to get out, especially up to Kingston. But it really does look cool, and it definitely has piqued my interest. And I'm glad to hear that it's well attended, and hopefully will go on for a while in whatever incarnation. Lee, you are involved in so much music. How many hours a day? Like, you have to learn people's music. You tour with them. How many hours a day do you spend just sitting at the drums?
It all really depends. I'm fortunate to be around such a great music scene, and it all depends. Some days I spend all day at the drum kit, whether I'm in a session or practicing or learning some music, and other days I'm, you know, cleaning the kitchen at the Falcon.
Right,
you know,
right.
I kind of do a bit of everything these days.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, there's so much. It's really great how many just to be able to do this and be around my friends and be around great music and get to do what I love.
Yeah, you are very, very lucky. And I know you wear many hats, and it must be exhausting. It's good that you're young and able to have some energy to get all this done, but you definitely have a good staff at the Falcon to help you along with that as well. So that's really, really cool. And I know your dad's proud of you, Lee. So thank you, because I know it's a lot of work, and I think it's awesome that you're keeping this Falcon going the way it is. And yeah, no, live at thefalcon.com, folks. And are the outside, is there tables, they're set up already, or where are we with outside stuff?
Yeah, there's seating on the porch,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't take reservations on the porch, so that's first come, first serve.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yeah.
the tables are outside, and it's a beautiful day today.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in store for a beautiful summer.
Yep, absolutely. You can sit outside and listen to the music out there and go make reservations live at thefalcon.com. It's always suggested to make reservations. I mean, especially some of the shows, they definitely sell out. But, you know, you can always give a call. You guys are typically open Thursdays through Sunday, but, you know, follow on socials. Better yet, because there's so much social media, sign up for your email list. And I always think that's the best way to learn about what's going on anywhere, because sometimes social media, you can miss stuff.
Sure. Yeah, we send out a weekly email, and we'll give you the lineup for the weekend and the next month.
Yeah. What else you got coming up that you can share with us that you're excited about for May or for the summer?
Well, I got these Margaret Glaspie gigs, which I'm excited about,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting married in June,
Yes,
which is very
Lee.
exciting.
It's very exciting. You and Jess. How sweet. How sweet. Ah, and of course,
Yeah.
at your beautiful place. Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. Have you seen her dress yet?
No, I
Good.
haven't. I think
Good.
that's one of the rules, right?
Yes. That is one of the traditional rules. But I'm glad that she's sticking to that. And yeah, you two are very sweet together. You've been together how many years now?
We've been together almost 10 years,
Wow.
and I'm lucky to have found such an amazing partner. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
we're very lucky and
Yeah.
very much in love.
Yeah, and it is beautiful because I've witnessed it and I can see it. And the way she's talked about you without you being around, she literally made me cry. And it's just really sweet. You guys are definitely sweet. May you have a lifetime of love and happiness together. And yeah, and just hold on to each other real tight in this mad, mad, mad world we live in. So yeah, good stuff, Lee. Are you going on a honeymoon?
Yeah. No, not right away. I think we're going to go later in the year.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, we're going to be around this summer. There's some great shows at the Falcon this summer.
Uh huh.
One of them I want to make note of is Glenn David Andrews
Yeah. Oh yes,
is
yes.
coming on June 10th to do an album release party, which I'm really looking forward to. Glenn and I worked really hard on his newest record, which I had the honor of producing, and yeah, it's always fun when Glenn's in town. So June 10th,
Well, I'm happy to
Glenn
tell
David
you
Andrews from New
something.
Orleans.
I'm happy to tell you something about Glenn David Andrews. He's also playing 2 weeks after that at the Saratoga Jazz Festival, and he's going to be on this show at the end of May. So we'll be talking about his show at the Falcon and at Saratoga Jazz.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn's become a great friend, and yeah, his new record is coming out just in a week or two, May 5th,
Wow.
Friday, May 5th.
Nice, nice. I'm so excited. And you sent me some of that music. So we're going to definitely play some of his music in just a few minutes. And I can't wait to share it with people because he really is. I can't wait to talk to him, but I've really enjoyed every bit of music I've heard from him. He's, of course, from New Orleans. And yeah, did some
Yeah,
recording
he
at the.
comes from we recorded at the building,
Yeah.
and yeah, we met because Danny Melnick helped put together, booked him to play at the Falcon, and we just hit it off. And a few weeks later, you know, we were in the studio together, and he brought his band in for the first session, and I got my friends in on the second session, and we did two different sessions, you know, when he was in town. And it's a full length record, and it came out really great. And it's a lot of songs that are sort of based in this area. You know, some songs like a couple Lee Von Helm songs in the band, and one of them Moses Petru and Jay Collins wrote. And it's a really cool record, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm excited for people to hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
exactly.
two songs that I sent you. One's "I Fought the Law," which was the Clash kind of had a hit with, but this is a cool sort of spooky take on it. You'll hear, and then the other one is "Spirit," which is a song by Amos Lee, and we were lucky enough to get Amos to sing on it. So all the background vocals that you hear are Amos Lee.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm actually that's queued up for me next, so that's what we're gonna start with. And I'm gonna play that for you. You also sent me music by Travis Jeffrey.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Travis. Travis is an amazing artist. He lives up north. I believe he's in Lake Placid or somewhere around that area. And this is the third record I've played on with him over at Andy Stack's
Mm-hmm.
studio called Buffalo Stack. And Travis is this amazing man. He's probably in his 70s and just a deep, deep guy, sort of a philosopher. And I always have such a fun time hanging out with him. And Andy and I worked together. I was playing drums and Andy was playing bass, and Travis, you know, would play his songs and we'd do a few takes, and we were recording them on Andy's 2-inch tape machine, which just has such a cool sound to it. And yeah, Travis hasn't really. He's only, I think, been making records later in his life, and they're just really cool. And I'd love for people to hear them because I think his songs are beautiful, and Andy Stack's production, and just everything about them. And this new one's called Jim Hawkins,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of his
And the
moniker.
and the track is Lightspeed that we're going to do, so we're going to definitely play that. Is it true, if I remember correctly? I don't remember. I think it might have been Andy that said the first recording session you were on was with Andy and Buffalo Stack.
Yeah, I think the first one I ever got paid for was with Andy Stack. I remember him handing me money at the end, and I was so confused, like, "Oh, what, you're going to pay me for this?" Yeah, that was the first Buffalo Stack album, which maybe was in, I don't know what year, maybe in 2013 or 14 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was one of those years. Yeah, exactly. I still play that album. It's a great album, and very well done. Very well done. And you also sent me a track by Jules Olson, who's opening on Saturday. Tell me more about Jules.
Sure. Jules is a great songwriter who's based out of Troy, New York, and she recorded that at the Building with Sam Skinner producing, who's a member of Pine Grove, and I played drums on that track. And she's got a new record. I think she just released a single today, as a matter of fact, that I also played on. And Jules is a phenomenal artist, and I was really happy that she was around to open for Margaret because I thought it would be a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lee, are you
That song I
journaling?
sent you, Colt.
Are you journaling any of these experiences, or is life just going by so quickly you forget to write stuff down?
I'm not journaling, but I think, Instagram and Facebook keeps track
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah.
No, I don't journal.
Yeah, because like in 20, 30 years, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, phew, you're going to forget what you did because there was so much of it. But yeah, so folks can find you on socials. You have a website, yes?
I do, yeah. I don't really keep it up to date much, but yeah, social media. You can find me at Lee J Falco on Instagram.
Right.
I don't really don't post too often, but where you can find me, or leefalco.com.
Yeah. And also live
Live
at
at thefalcon.com.
Live
Yeah,
at thefalcon.com.
where it's happening.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, absolutely. And folks, if you haven't been to the Falcon yet, you are missing out on something. I promise you, because there's no vibe like it. So just pick a show, any show, and just go check it out because it is a unique place. We don't have anything quite like it. And it is its own little special world. And I have already told my daughter when I die, some ashes will be left at the Falcon because that's how much I love it. And yeah, and thank you, Lee, for doing all this because you're a busy guy and you're wearing many hats. So thank you for continuing the tradition, the beautiful legacy that your dad started. And he is undoubtedly very proud and approving of all this great music. And we are so lucky here in the Hudson Valley to be having the Falcon in our area, along with many of the great venues that we have here. But the Falcon is indeed a very special place. So thank you for doing all the work. I know it's a hard time, and it's a hard work, I should say. It's a hard work to do everything that you're doing. But it's great to see the music that's coming there. So I appreciate it. I know everybody else that comes to the Falcon just is so happy to be there each and every time they're there. So thank you.
Thank you. It's a labor of love, and thank you for all you do, and LocalMotion and WVKR and all the great music that you guys spin.
Yeah, thank you. That's what we're in it. I remember I didn't start this show. Like, I talked to your dad extensively before I started this show. And because I started in 2015, and I kept saying, Tony, he's like, oh my God, Rita. He threw me so many names, I couldn't keep up. I literally got a pen and paper out. And he's like, here, you got to have this person and this person and that person. And since it was all local, and Tony was such a supporter of the local music scene. And yeah, it was a lot of great ideas I got from him, and a lot of support from Tony, and he made me want to do it. So yeah, Yeah, thank you. So, Lee, you have a big evening ahead. Enjoy it, and I hope to see you soon. I'm doing a little traveling. I'll be away for a few weeks, but my reservations will start up at the Falcon again as soon as I get back. So, thank you, and go have some fun tonight. And I will send you a note before you get married, and please say hi to Jess and have fun.
All right, Rita. Thank you so much.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it, Lee. I'll talk to you. Bye-bye. 91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. Lee Falco, the operator of liveatthefalcon.com. Now, as promised, let's play some music by Glenn David Andrews, who'll be there in June. Let's take a listen to this new music by Glenn David Andrews. 91.3 WVKR.
Walking down Broad Street, streets sing a symphony. Am I the highway? Ain't had the greatest day. Walking past memory, the pain she gave to me. Don't you know I'm trying to be the bigger man? I just want to feel your spirit. I just want to feel the spirit. I just want to feel the spirit. And it's washing over me. Me and my damn LaFoe. Seen some people come and go. Seen a couple storm clouds pass. Seen a couple spells begin. People tripping down cobblestone. Marching bands and trombone. Everybody's out here waiting on a second line. I just want to feel the spirit. I just want to feel the spirit. I just want to feel the spirit. And it's washing over me. Storm clouds up ahead. Singing shout, I praise to raise the dead. I got a heart that was born to be broken down, taken down, wild and free.
91.3 WVKR. Technical issue right here. Let me see. Is it going to work? All right. We're going to play another track by Glenn David Andrews, and let's hope that works. But you get the idea. You get the gist of it. That one was called Spirit. This one's called I Fought the Law with Amos Lee on vocals. And it's an Amos Lee. Well, hold on. Yeah. Take a listen.
Breaking rocks right in the hot sun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I needed money 'cause I had none. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I left my baby and it feels so bad. Yes, my race is run. She is the the best woman I ever had. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. Grabbing people with a 6-shooter gun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. Lost my girl and it wasn't fun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I left my baby and it feels so bad. Yes, my race is run. She's the best girl I ever had. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law. I fought the law. Staring down the barrel of a double barrel shotgun. For the law. And I fought the law. The law won. Oh, my ocean. I fought the law and the law won.
91.3 WVKR, Glenn David Andrews' new album coming out. And I Fought the Law, which is a great rendition of that one. As Lee mentioned, that, of course, is a Clash tune, but really done nicely by Glenn David Andrews. We also heard part of the song called Spirit, which was a song written by Amos Lee, who was on the backing vocals of that. So I'm thrilled to say that Glenn David Andrews will be my guest here on LocalMotion at the end of May, the last day of May, May 31st. Glenn David Andrews will be joining us here. We'll talk about his upcoming show at the Falcon on June 10th, and then also his performance at the Saratoga Jazz Festival, which is the weekend of June 24 and 25. Lee sent me one more track that I do want to get in here as well. This one is by Travis Jeffrey, which he also had mentioned, and let's take a listen to this. Let me pull this up, and technical stuff sometimes. I appreciate you guys having patience, because sometimes live radio, when you have a technical snafu, it ain't fun. But here, let's take a listen to this right now on 91.3 WVKR by Jules Olson.
Our song, although we didn't write it sure feels like it. So I roll down the windows while I'm driving, heat pumping a familiar scent. Oh, it brings me to you. Now you're flowing through me, I'm spiraling out into nothing, and hearing the sound of your footsteps, oh, they can see love when the cold is in. And the truth is, I'm scared you forget me. Wanna find it A dream screams so loud, and your name is burned into the back of my brain. Oh, I can feel it right now, trying to let them fall away. All these pieces of you, now you're flowing through me. I'm spiraling out into nothing and hearing the sound of your footsteps. Oh, vacancy loud when the cold hits and the truth is, when the cold hits and the leaves are gone, when the cold hits and I'm all alone, when the cold hits and that's our song. When the cold hits, I'm spiraling out into nothing and hearing the sound of your footsteps. Oh, vacancy loud when the cold hits and the truth is, oh, the truth is, oh, the truth is, I'm scared you forget me.
Light speed. Take one on the new tape. I got a secret mind, and it's right there I find everything I need, for better or for worse. We got a universe moving at light speed. Got what I got, ain't nothing I'm missing. Take what I want, I don't need permission. Live like a hermit and make no apologies. You got a conference call, you can't forget them all. You'll never miss them, could be misunderstood, but they'll be gone for good. Out of your system, must be someone who knows how to please you. Someone for whom it's just standard procedure. It's never too late to get there before the dawn. Your former attaché had little left to say. Bound for the Gold Coast, he grabbed his overcoat and left a folded note. Stuck to the bedpost, stowed away on a southbound freighter. He'll be discovered sooner or later. He made his move at precisely the perfect time. Over and over, you just never let up. Over and over, down, gotta get up. Over and over, but I ain't gonna give up now. Just so much I can take, I might make my escape. I got my reasons, I think I see my chance, but I don't know which pants. I left my keys in, looking for someone who doesn't need to backtrack. Someone to use a head for more than a hat rack. You make a better story than a memory.
91.3 WVKR. More music sent by today's guest, Lee Falco. We just heard Travis Jeffrey, the track called Lightspeed from the album Jim Hawkins. And we also heard Jules Olson with the track Cold. Thank you again to Lee for being my guest during the 4 o'clock hour. If you missed part or maybe all of that interview and you're just tuning in now, it'll be uploaded tonight on the YouTube channel. If you'd consider subscribing to that as well as following on the Facebook page, it would be LocalMotion on 91.3 WVKR, and that's where all interviews are uploaded. So thanks again to Lee for a wonderful time live at thefalcon.com. You can see their upcoming performances. There is never a ticket to be sold. There's no cover charge. It's by donations. Live at thefalcon.com. And speaking of the Falcon, this lovely lady will be performing there this Friday. Let's take a listen to Alexis P. Suter, 91.3 WVKR.
Come on, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Tomorrow may never come, never come. Life is not promised. Tomorrow may never show up, never show up. Life is not promised. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Oh. When I say I got your back, oh yeah, you know that's my promise. I will never leave you. Only love is real. The door is open, and I'll never turn my back. No. Oh yeah. Wanna see love, be love. Oh yeah, be love. Ain't no, oh no, yeah, 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 yeah. Be love, be love, oh Lord. Boxes of paper, baby. People, they got the papers. Need somewhere to turn when every bridge is burned. I will never leave you. Only love is real. The door is always open, and I'll never turn my back. No, 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 no. Want to see love, be love, hey, be love. Oh Lord, you never find it in a book or a magazine. Love, be love, be love. Hey, come on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Time and time again, I keep telling you, gotta do it again. Come on down. Tomorrow may never come, never come. Life is not promised. Tomorrow may never show up, never show up. Life is not promised. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Wanna see love, be love, be love. And a book or magazine, love, be love. Oh yeah, be love. Oh Lord. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh
91.3 WVKR Be Love. Title track from the album by the same name by Alexis P. Suter. This one was mixed at Building Records in Marlboro, which of course is owned by today's guest. So tying it all in there together. Alexis P. Suter playing at the Falcon this Friday night. If there are seats left, hurry up and give them a call and see if there are. Live at thefalcon.com. You can reserve online. And Alexis is a powerhouse of a performer and brings down the house. Brings down the house, she does. Alexis P. Suter. All right, and let's see. It is 5:07. You are tuned into Local Motion here on 91.3 WVKR. We air live each Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m., except for the next 3 Wednesdays. This is my last Wednesday for 3 weeks, and then I'll be back on May 24th. But let's keep the hour going. We've got some great music lined up. Let's start this one off. These two gentlemen will be performing this Friday night at Town Crier. Let's start it off now with Jonah Smith on 91.3.
I can only say these words one time, so listen close. I can only say these words one time, so listen close. Sing to me just like the birds. No one's ever said wiser words. I can only sing this song one time, so listen close. I can only sing this song one time, so listen close. Run with me, don't make a sound. We gotta keep our ears to the ground. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me what I need to know. I will listen close. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me what I need to know. I will listen close. I can only say these words one time, so listen close. I was sitting in the cafe called the Village Groove. Heard a couple of girls talking in the next booth. I thought I heard my name, so I tuned right in. My blood ran cold beneath my crawling skin. It cut me like a knife. You need a bit of luck in life. Little bird in the neighborhood, little singing and the word ain't good. Oh, little bird in the neighborhood, little bird in the neighborhood, little news and the news ain't good. Oh, little bird in the neighborhood, little bird in the neighborhood. the street in the afternoon. Day drinking, planning my next move. My heart's so heavy and my head's full of doubt. It's easy getting into things, but ain't it hard getting out? Like a roll of the dice, you need a bit of luck in life. Little bird in the neighborhood, heard her singing and the word ain't good. Oh, little bird in the neighborhood, little bird in the neighborhood, but the news and the news ain't good. Oh, little bird in the neighborhood, little bird in the neighborhood.
91.3 WVKR, James Maddock, title track, Little Bird in the Neighborhood. This was released, I think, in 2021. And this will be, he, along with Jonah Smith, who we heard before, James, the two of them will be playing at Town Crier this Friday night. They're both amazing singer-songwriters. I don't know if they're doing anything together or I don't know, but there's both performers on the main stage this Friday night at Town Crier. Tickets available at towncrier.com, and that, of course, town spelled with an E, crier.com. So James Maddock will be there and Jonah Smith, and we heard Jonah Smith's song Listen Close. That was released 3 years ago. It's just a beautiful, beautiful song. Definitely, if you're into the singer-songwriter music style, these two are some of the best out there. Jonah Smith, James Maddock, Friday at Town Crier. 5:15. I'm your host, Rita Ryan, here each and every Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. We're going to keep the music flowing here. All we do is music of the Hudson Valley. These guys just released a new album, and they're having an album release show at Keegan Ailes in Kingston on May 6th. They're called Nowhere at Home. Let's take a listen right now on 91.3.
I don't really want to fight about it, darling, or you could have this whole thing to yourself, darling, oh, and you're detrimental to my health. You know, you're not too rich in mental wealth yourself. I could put the past behind me somehow, darling, like the memory of the way you threw that trade, darling, oh, and that was only yesterday. And so, there's nothing left for me to say, okay. Down the flowers and the gin for our inebriated stumble, just like a boot heel to the shin. My resolve begins to crumble. Oh no. That you profess to know. No, you cannot tell it's time to go. Oh no. I never knew you were so sentimental, darling. I see you brought your record player along, darling. Fun, you probably make me play our favorite song. The one I always said that went on way too long.
91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. Incredibly talented world music performer Vio Farcatori with the track called Alla Cara. Vio Farcatori will be performing right here in our area in Woodstock at the Woodstock Playhouse on May 10th. That is a show by Bardavon Presents. You can get info and tickets to that show by visiting bardavon.org. Again, via Farcatori, Woodstock Playhouse, May 10th. We also heard Josh Redder. His new album is being released Friday. It's called Spectral Lines. The track is called Honey I Do, and it's Josh Ritter. And he'll be performing 2 nights in Woodstock at Levon Helm Studios. 1 night's already sold out. I think there might be a few tickets left for May 4th to see Josh Ritter. We also heard brand new music by Nowhere at Home. Last week we did track number 1, Leave It Alone, and this week we did track number 2, Darlin', which was written and produced by Rick Z. Nowhere at Home is comprised of Rick Z, Josie Grant, and Carl Frizzell. They'll be doing a CD or album release show at Keegan Ailes on May 6th. Again, Nowhere at Home. And you can check out their website, nowhereathome.com, as well as their social media pages. And great new album. Thanks for sending it to me, Rick. Let's keep the music flowing. This is a new track, too, and I love this track. I think you guys hopefully will love it as much as I do, because I do plan on playing it a lot. It's a beautiful new song. This was just released last week by the lovely and talented Ms. Sarah Fim. Let's take a listen.
You said that you loved me, you'd never ever hurt me. How quickly you desert me. You're pushing me away, breaking my heart, and no one wants to feel the way that I do. No one wants to walk through these doors we're walking through. It's killing me today, killing me today. If only I could run away. I can see your halo, but baby I can't let go. You're pushing me away, pushing me away. You're breaking my heart, babe. I can see your halo, but baby I can't let go. You're pushing me away, pushing me away. You're breaking my heart, babe. You said you'd come to cuddle me, wake me up with coffee and tell me sweet stories. Then you said you'd look me in the eye, look me in the eye. Say that we would never die. No one wants to feel the way that I do. No one wants to walk through these doors we're walking through. It's killing me today, killing me today. 'Cause I can see your halo, but baby I can't let go. But you're pushing me away, pushing me away. You're breaking my heart, babe. I can see your halo, but baby I can't let go. But you're pushing me away, pushing me away. I can see your shame. Your veins went cold as ice. It was the longest moment of my life, and it chilled me to the core. The one I loved was gone. I can see your halo, baby I can't let go. You're pushing me away, pushing me can see your halo. Baby, I can't let go. You're pushing me away, pushing me away. And I know that I got to.
Oh, my Maria, seems you got me in your spell once more. Must be there's a storm on the way. You taught me to know when you're near. In your glance recall my shady days of youth, stealing altar wine and microphones, and not so blindly fueling my need as rock and roll fueled my dream. You know, rock and roll fueled my dreams. Yeah. Back then you saw me as this child in great need of the wildest sin, and how sweet your grace I stumbled in, and how completely you waved as I laughed in your face. Oh my Maria, oh my Maria. Oh, my Maria, how you stood for strength and sanity. Now is there someone poking holes in me? I see now why you've called me near. Maria, my song can you hear? I know you see the silence on the sidewalk, and the anger in the street, and the voices of all these children coming up to my feet. And we sing your song in vain as the preacher sees his rain come down. Maria, my sweet Maria, in the silence on the hill, you know I'll be dreaming of you sting out the world. Maria, oh my Maria. I sing for my Maria. I sing for my Maria.
91.3 WVKR, Martin Sexton, the album The American, the track My Maria. Martin was my guest on the show 2 weeks ago, and he'll be performing this weekend, Saturday at the Troy Music Hall and Sunday at Tarrytown Music Hall. So depending on which end of the Hudson Valley you're at, you've got 2 opportunities to visit and check out the great Martin Sexton. If you missed that interview with Martin, you can again check it out on the YouTube channel or the LocalMotion Facebook page, and that's under LocalMotion on 91.3 WVKR. We also heard a new single, which I'm just entranced by, Seraphim, called Halo. It's on YouTube with a beautiful accompanying video. Seraphim, that's F-I-M-M. And she's quite an amazing artist. She's also on Bandcamp, and she's got her website. You can check out her visual art as well as her incredible music. She's such a creative type. She's constantly putting out new music, and it's just all very beautiful. And I particularly am drawn to this latest track called, again, Halo. It was just released last week. Let's keep the music going with another incredible female artist who'll be playing tomorrow night in Woodstock at Colony. Let's take a listen to Sarah Parada on 91.3.
Answer in
focus on you. Sunday, great day, long summer feels in the lonely country. Everything will be everything if we make it that far, babe, that's something. This too shall lie, every moment to the letter. This too shall lie. Oh, heart, go further, so you whip the horses harder. Bad hand, you can lay it. There's no game without that. Hey man, we can say it. Depends on how we're praying. Everything will be everything if we make it that far, babe, that's something. This too shall lie, every moment to the letter. This too shall lie. This too shall lie, every moment to the letter. This too shall lie. It's a long road to the center. This too shall lie, every moment to the letter. This too shall lie. It's a long road to the center. This too shall lie, every moment to the letter. This too shall lie. It's a long road to the center. This too shall lie, every moment to the letter. And this too shall lie.
91.3 WVKR. Amy Helm, the album called This Too Shall Light. We heard the title track from that. This was released back in 2018 and still a wonderful album that I enjoy listening to. Amy Helm, continuing the Levon Helm Midnight Ramble, now being called Helm Family Midnight Ramble. They're doing it monthly. The next one is happening on May 4th, Saturday, May 6th. The Ramble, May 6th. Tickets and info available at levonhelm.com. Again, the Helm Family Ramble on May 6th. We also heard Sarah Parada, her album called Blue to Gold, and the track we heard, Heartbeat. She'll be playing tomorrow at Colony in Woodstock. What a vocalist she is, Sarah Parada. You can see her tomorrow at Colony Woodstock. Tickets and information at colonywoodstock.com. And it's getting near the end here. It's 5:44. And during this time, we do what's called musical happenings in the hopes that you go support live music in one of our wonderful world-class area venues. So we do this in alphabetical order. So we always start with the Bardavon and UPAC, bardavon.org. This Friday, April 28th, Amanda Palmer at Bardavon. April 28th at UPAC is Jim Breuer. April 30, Cheetah Rivera in conversation with Harvey Fierstein. May 10th, Via Farcatori at Woodstock Playhouse. And May 12th, just a few tickets left for Jacob Dylan and the Wallflowers at Bardavon. Bearsville Theater in Woodstock, also bearsvilletheater.com. May 19th, Masters of the Telecaster. May 27, Bob Dylan Birthday Celebration. Caramore in Katona, info at caramore.org. April 30, Rachel Podger on violin. May 12th, Yasmin Williams. City Winery, Hudson Valley in Montgomery. Info at citywinery.com/Hudson Valley. April 30, Jimmy Sturr and his orchestra. Colony in Woodstock and colonywoodstock.com. Tonight, Gratefully Yours. Thursday, Sarah Parada. Friday, Josh David Barrett and Judah Tribe. Saturday, tribute to Leonard Cohen. Sunday, Mojo Hand and Matthew O'Neill. And every Monday is an open mic at Colony. Dogwood in Beacon and dogwood.com. Thursday, Stu Cutler. Friday, Grease Trap. Saturday, Ricky Stein and Zoe Fern. At the Falcon in Marlborough and live at thefalcon.com. Thursday, Richard Lloyd's Television. Friday, Alexis P. Suter Band. Saturday, Margaret Glaspie. And Sunday, Edmar Castaneda. The Fisher Center at Bard College and info at fishercenter.bard.edu. This weekend, April 29 and 30, Carnegie Hall preview with the orchestra now. Howland Chamber Music Circle at Howland Cultural Center in Beacon. Info and tickets at howlandmusic.org. April 30, Wind Sync Woodwind Quintet. Jazz Forum in Tarrytown and info at jazzforumarts.org. This Friday and Saturday, April 28 and 29, 2 shows each night featuring Joe Lovano and Dave Douglas. Levon Helm Studios in Woodstock and at levonhelm.com. May 4, Josh Ritter and the Royal City Band. May 6, the Helm Family Midnight Ramble. And May 13th, the New Amsterdams. Saratoga Jazz Festival, June 24 and 25, with numerous performers over 2 days, including Snarky Puppy, Bonnie Raitt, Angelique Kidjo, and more. Info at saratoga.com/summer-jazz festival. Sugarloaf Performing Arts Center at Sugarloaf, New York, with Sugarloaf website, sugarloafpacny.com. April 29th, Soul Town to Motown. May 5, the Ozzy Osbourne Experience. The Stissing Center in Pine Plains, also the stissingcenter.org. April 28th, Tyler Blanton Group. Tarrytown Music Hall in Tarrytown and at tarrytownmusichall.org. April 28th, the Jayhawks. April 30, Martin Sexton and Katie Tunstall. Last but never least, Town Crier in Beacon and towncrier.com. Every Thursday is an open mic. On the Salon Stage Friday is Cassidy. On the Main Stage Friday, Jonah Smith Band and James Maddock. Saturday on the Salon Stage, Robert Tellefson Band. And Saturday on the Main Stage, Slam Allen and also Gabe Stillman Band. Sunday brunch with Jonah Weinstock, and Sunday evening, Gratefully Yours at Town Crier. And that's what I got. When I come back in a couple of weeks, we're going to add some summer venues on there, which will include Bethel Woods, Opus 40 in Saugerties, as well as Maverick Concerts in Woodstock. So those are all seasonal venues, and I'll be starting to mention them upon my return. I am taking a few weeks off, And I'll be back hosting the show on Wednesday, May 24th with guest Mike Amari, who's the program manager at Opus 40. We'll be talking about all the great shows and Opus 40 in general. If it's a place you haven't been to or you may have just heard of, check it out online. It is a sculpture park, and it was one man's life mission. Harvey Feit. Check out opus40.org. And again, Mike Amari will be my guest here on Local Motion 4 weeks from today on May 24th. So I look forward to speaking with him. And I think we'll play another track by another lovely lady performer, and she'll be my guest here this summer. Let's take a listen to this new music by Sarah Milanovic and Daisy Cutter, 91.3. 91.3 WVKR, Sarah Milanovic and Daisy Cutter. The album is called Northeast. The track, Last Time for Everything. This was recently released, and a bunch of great people on here with her. And this was recorded locally also up in Red Hook at Mylan Hill Studio. I look forward to having Sarah on the show sometime this summer. We have a date. I just don't remember what it is, but Sarah Milanovic will be joining me, and I look forward to that. She hasn't been on the show yet, so that does it. Speaking of which, thank you to today's guest, Lee Falco, who was on during the 4 o'clock hour. If you missed part or all of that interview, I've recorded it. I'll be uploading it tonight on LocalMotion on 91.3 WVKR YouTube channel or on the Facebook page.